There was a time athletes were invited to award shows just to sit at the table and clap politely. Now they're becoming some of the biggest stars in fashion. At the 2026 Met Gala, athletes didn't just attend, they completely owned the carpet, and honestly, some celebrities got outdressed in the process. From sculptural gowns to luxury tailoring, this year proved one thing clearly: sports and fashion are no longer separate worlds. The 2026 Met Gala theme was named as Fashion is Art, focused on fashion as an artistic expression to individuals who attended, who treated clothing almost like sculptures for some. And because modern athletes are basically global celebrities at this point, it made complete sense seeing names from basketball, football, tennis, F1, all dominating fashion's biggest night. According to Vogue, athletes like Venus and Serena Williams, Steph Curry were among some of the standout sports stars attending this year's event, and genuinely some of the looks were unreal. Starting with the Williams sisters, because obviously they understood the assignment immediately. Venus Williams actually co-chaired the event this year, which says a lot about how influential athletes have become in fashion culture. Her Swarovski look was elegant but powerful, which honestly sums her up perfectly. And then you had Serena Williams and Marc Jacobs, proving once again that retirement has somehow made her even more influential. And that's what stood out this year. Athletes weren't trying to fit into fashion anymore. They looked like they belonged there. And then there's Steph Curry, who arrived in Balenciaga alongside his wife, Ayesha Curry. And basketball culture especially has completely changed athlete fashion forever over the last decade. Tunnel walks before NBA games now get almost as much social media attention as the actual matches. Players are basically walking fashion campaigns, and social media has massively accelerated that. The 2026 Met Gala generated over 1.6 billion global video views and more than 108 million social media engagements, showing how fashion moments now dominate online culture too. So athletes showing up dressed like this isn't just personal style anymore, it's branding. One of the most artistic looks of the night came from Naomi Osaka in Robert One. Her outfit felt dramatic, sculptural and slightly futuristic, which matched the theme perfectly. And athletes like Osaka represent something much bigger in modern sport. They're no longer just judged on performance. Now it's personality, activism, fashion, branding. Everything becomes part of the public image, which can be exhausting, but it also shows how much sport has evolved culturally. Next up on the list, we have some honourable mentions of some other athletes who absolutely turned up as well. First of all, we've got Asia Wilson, who looked incredible in Prabal Gurung. 3 times NBA champion Dwayne Wade made his appearance, who brought classic luxury in Michael Kors. Figure skater Lisa Lyo might have had one of the smartest interpretations of the theme of art. Her Louis Vuitton gown was reportedly inspired by athletic anatomy and muscle structure, blending fashion with the physicality of sport itself, which is either incredibly artistic or the most stylish biology lesson ever created. What made the 2026 Met Gala so interesting wasn't just the outfits themselves, it was what they represented. Because 10 years ago, athletes attending an event like this still felt slightly separate from the fashion world, almost like guests entering someone else's space as they go among other celebrities in the acting field, singing, and other entertainments. Now they all are the space, and that shift says a lot about how modern sport has changed. Athletes today are expected to be more than just successful in competition. They are expected to have personality, style, influence and markability, to be liked by audiences. A footballer, basketball player or F1 driver is no longer just selling performances on the pitch or track. They're trying to sell an identity, a brand, a market, and fashion has become one of the biggest parts of that identity. You see it every week now in sport. NBA tunnel walks are treated like runway shows. Football arrival photos get posted before match highlights and are one of the most highest engaging of content. Brands collaborate with athletes because they know younger audiences connect with style and personality just as much as the statistics. And social media has become completely accelerated that shift. Athletes are no longer controlled purely through traditional sports media. They can build their own image instantly through these platforms and luxury brands, which means events like the Met Gala are actually perfect for the modern athlete because the event is built around visibility. It's designed to create viral moments, online discussions, shareable content, and exactly the same way modern sports operates. And honestly, some athletes seem more naturally suited to that environment than celebrities now. There's also something quite powerful about seeing athletes in these spaces historically dominated by these actors and musicians, especially for women in sport. Seeing athletes like Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka presented as fashion icons, as well as elite competitors, shows how much wider sports cultural influence has become. They're not being boxed into one identity anymore. They are powerful, fashionable, outspoken, commercially influential all at once. At the same time, though, there's definitely an argument that modern athletes are under some more pressure to maintain that image constantly. Every outfit gets analysed, every appearance becomes content, and sometimes it probably feels like athletes are expected to perform even when they're not competing. But whether that's positive or negative, it's clearly the direction that sport is moving in. The line between athlete, celebrity, influencer is disappearing more and more every year, and the 2026 Met Gala felt like proof of that. This wasn't just a fashion event featuring sports stars, it was a cultural moment showing how deeply sport influences entertainment, fashion, and media itself.